Welcome back. If you aren't already following Naked, please take a minute to do so you don't miss out on any future episodes. Each follow means so much and it actually helps a lot. If you have more than just a minute, it would be absolutely incredible if you could leave a review and maybe even share an episode with a friend. I am relatively new to the pod world, especially new to the things that are important in the podcasting world. And apparently, reviews and follows are up there on the list of importance. So I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this. Welcome to Naked, where stories unfold. I'm your host, Janelle, a once former pastor's wife who exchanged small town living for a nomadic life. The unexpected change in our life led my husband and our 4 kids to traveling the world. From years of being rooted in our small town to the thrill of wandering the world, our story has been anything but ordinary. On our journeys, we've met amazing people, learnt their way of life, and heard their unique stories, which has led me to understand the profound impact of shared experiences. In each episode, we explore moments of transformation, guided by one single question: is there a time in your life when everything changed? We invite ordinary storytellers like yourself to share the often unexpected turns in life. So grab a seat and settle in. This is the Naked Podcast. My next guest today is a very special woman that we met when we were living in Nicaragua. She is a brilliantly vibrant person, but she's also an incredible Spanish teacher. And we were looking for someone to teach us, come to our home, and our kids were eager to learn, especially our oldest 3. So she'd come to our home twice a week and teach Spanish in very real ways and having communication with the kids. And it was just such a beautiful connection that they had. And we also felt towards her. She is the most vibrant person, maybe the most vibrant person I met in Nicaragua. She has this energy and this beautiful glow about her. And she just kind of draws you in. So I got to hear a little bit about her story when we were living there, but nothing to the degree that she shared today. She talks about teaching and how she loves it, but how it also saved her life and how it eventually led her to meeting the love of her life. She's an amazing human, and I'm so glad that she's here today to tell her story. Please note that there are some triggering things like alcoholism, domestic violence, and there's also some birds and dogs in the background, but that's just part of living in Nicaragua and nature becoming part of the podcast. So please excuse some of those background noises. Welcome here, and thank you again for being part of the Naked community. All right. Well, today I am so grateful to have my guest here. We met in Nicaragua. She's actually taught my kids how to speak Spanish. She's an incredible teacher. She's so loving. And she came into our home, I think it was 2 or 3 times a week, and just brought so much joy. And I was like, I got to hear little bits of her story that she would share bits of it with my kids. And I was like, oh my gosh, one day I hope I can get a chance to hear more of her story. So today I have Mariel. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm so glad that you're here to share your story.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. So I'm going to introduce now. I'm Mariel Estrada and I'm from Nicaragua. I am 47 years old and I am a Spanish teacher for 26 years now. And
Wow.
I have had a lot of students and now I am married. I have 2 daughters and and I love my job. I love to be a Spanish teacher.
It shows because you're so happy when you're just
Yeah,
like you bring such a joy every time you come to teach. You're just so full of energy and
it's
joy.
what
It
I
shows that
want.
you
I
love
want
it.
my students to be happy, to be uh how can I say, like comfortable, and I want they to
Mm-hmm.
make them
Mm-hmm.
to punish them to continue studying and being happy, and they have to always happy learning. It's only not to teach grammar. It's not to come to sit in the table and teach
Right.
them grammar. I want they to feel comfortable and excited to continue
Mm-hmm.
learning Spanish.
Yeah. And you do that. I think you do it very well. And I heard somebody once say that when a student is learning, so much of that has to do with the way the teacher has chosen to teach it. It can be very boring
Exactly.
or it can be very exciting. And I feel like that's what you do. You bring such an
Yeah.
excitement to learning
Thank you. What I
Spanish.
try. My husband always
Yeah.
always tell me, Mariel, you are not just a teacher. You are a person. You are a person who make them feel how they are, how comfortable. You are not only a Spanish teacher. You are whole that you
Mm-hmm.
todo. Psicóloga, a friend, a
Totally.
cooker, todo.
To- Totally. You are. You're the friend. You're like a friend that just comes and hangs out and talks, speaks Spanish, and then you teach them in a very real way. I feel like so much of even Mikkel, when he talks about learning speaking Spanish with you, he's like, we would just talk. And I felt comfortable just to say things, even if it wasn't always right. I
Yeah,
just, I knew that it was okay to
yeah,
keep trying. Yeah. Yeah. No, you're a very, very gifted teacher. And I'm very grateful that we met you and you got to be part of our life. It was sad to leave you because it was like, oh, you're part of the family. But I'm so glad that we still
yeah.
can stay in
See,
touch
me too, me
and,
too. I,
and
I
talk
saw the
today.
other day Lexi, and I say
Yeah. Yeah.
Lexi, and then so Mariel. I mean,
Oh.
yeah,
Oh, that's so nice. Yeah, those of you who are listening, Lexi is our daughter who lives in Nicaragua now. Who she used to travel with us full time, but now she's in
yeah,
Nicaragua, has her business, and so it's so nice when people that know us and know our daughter can like
yeah.
hug her and love her while we're so far away. Yeah, that means a lot. Are you
I
drinking
have
something
tea.
special today?
I have tea and water, just in case,
Ooh,
because I think this
nice.
interview will be like more. I will speak about something special in my life and heart. So I have water for just in case. But I have to.
Uh
I would
huh.
like to have drink,
Help
but it's too
hydrate.
early in Nicaragua. I would like to have wine, but it's too early in Nicaragua.
Yeah. It's
Mm-hmm.
7:30 a.m. I think, right? For
Yeah, and
you.
so
A little
tea
early,
is
yeah.
enough for now.
Tea is good. Tea is a good time to
I
drink. What kind
have
of tea do you have?
green tea. Hmm.
Oh, green tea. That's nice.
Yeah.
That's a good way to start the day. See, I could have wine because
Yeah.
it's the middle of the day for me. It's the afternoon, but
Ah,
I didn't have
okay.
any wine on hand, so I just have tea too.
I'm trying to drink to drink a different tea now that is with cinnamon and
Oh,
bay
nice.
leaf, and there is a flower. We have a flower here, but I think that you have also Jamaica. This flor de Jamaica. So the three
Oh,
thing is
Jamaica.
good, and so I'm
Yes.
having that for my stomach. It is good for the body. So in the morning and in the night, but I didn't
Ah,
prepare it today.
that's perfect. No, I
Yeah,
Jamaica is very good with cinnamon.
and I put also
It's
bay
very
leaf.
good. Yeah. Bay leaf. Oh,
See,
yeah, I've never tried that, but that would
see.
be very tasty.
Kaya la
Yeah.
cinnamon. See.
Well, we guess we can jump into our conversation. I have actually talked to Marielle a few times about joining me on the podcast, but with our time difference, it's difficult because she teaches and finding a time. So today we finally made it work, and we're here. And like I said, I only know very small snippet of your story, but like I mentioned to you, the podcast is here to to bring hope to people that are maybe going through something similar, or who are going through something that maybe they feel like they can't get out of, and just to bring light into darkness, really to bring some hope and some um, let people know that they're not alone in their journey. So I know that you've been thinking about this, and you have. Mikkel's told me, Mom, she has a crazy story. Um, you've been through so much. So as we jump into this, I guess, where do you want to start in the time when your life, when everything changed?
Okay. I think that when I okay, I didn't have a normal childhood because I'm the older, and we were four
Okay.
siblings. Now we are three. I have a sister and a brother. They are younger, and so when they was born, I was like maybe 10 years old. So, and I started to be
Okay.
an adult with my 12 years old, because it was different. It was different. Like
Uh-huh.
30 years ago. Now it's a different, and that time when the oldest had the responsibility to take care about the youngest. So I didn't have a normal childhood because of that culture, because of the culture, and also because we in that
Yeah.
time we had uh, problems, political problems. We had the revolución, la contrarrevolución in Nicaragua. So I can tell you that I had a hard life, but in comparing now, I can say it was good, but in the moment it wasn't. But comparison now, uh, it
Hmm.
was good, but because
Yeah.
no one had a phone, no one had a TV. I didn't have a TV. I didn't have a phone. I didn't have a radio. I didn't have anything. Just to take care my sister, my brother, because they are twins. They are twins. So I was
Oh, okay. They're
I was
twins.
as their mom. So, but I'm grateful because now they respect me,
Wow.
they love me, and they take care
Hmm.
about me, and they take care about my daughters. So, and I'm not
Hmm.
regretted about that because they are
Yep.
some
Yeah.
thankful and they love me. But I have a hard life with my mom because
Hmm.
she was so hard. So, and then when I went to the university, I was 18 years old and I thought I'm going to be free. I'm going to be free because my mom
Hmm.
won't be there because I'm going to do everything. And but thanks God that because I had the opportunity to go to the university, most of my friends they couldn't because the life was different. Now we have more opportunity, we have more
Okay.
university, and that time I had to go to Managua to live in Managua, and my parents they could pay for my
Oh,
studies.
wow.
And but I said I'm going to be free.
Yeah.
No more slave. No more slave. No more because all the responsibility was for
Hmm.
me in the house. With 13 years old,
Great.
I had to iron the clothes for six
Wow.
people, take care about the kids, and I couldn't go to the beach with my friend. I never went to sleep with other house with my friend like a pajama party. I never had that, and no one could visit me because I had responsibility
Wow.
taking care of my siblings. And so I said, I'm going to be free.
Sibling.
And but no, because I was responsible and I studied to be a nurse. And it
Okay.
was hard. So I had to study the whole day. I didn't have time to party or do things. It was different.
Ah,
So but and
yeah.
in that time we had problem with government, and there was a fight, like a
Okay.
war university against the government. So I just stopped studying. I almost finished, and I decided to go to
Oh,
Costa Rica to work. I was like 20 years and
wow.
or almost 20 because I spent almost 2 years. Then I came and I met someone in Nicaragua. I came for vacation from Costa Rica and I met someone, and I felt that he was the best man in the world. And
Hmm.
I remember that I met him on September and I did something bad. We got married in November, like September, October, November. And then immediately, I
Wow.
didn't have experience like having birth control, all this thing. So I got pregnant immediately. On December, I was pregnant.
Okay.
Entonces, the
Oh.
story with this man was it is so bad because at the beginning it
Hmm.
was good because when we got married in November and December I was pregnant, and then he had an opportunity to go to USA to work on January, so he left. He wasn't be with me. He wasn't with me like my all when I was pregnant. When my daughter was born, he
Wow.
was not here with me. So my parents were with me. They were always with me. Um, but economically, I didn't have any problem because He worked in USA. He sent me money. I didn't have any difficulty. And I think that
Okay.
God put me someone in my life. I remember in the bus, my daughter was like 10 days, and this man invited me to be a teacher, and I said, no, I don't need a job. I I I'm a good. I have a husband, and I have enough money, and I had a good life economicamente. And then that's that.
Mm.
And that time we didn't have phone. We didn't have internet in Nicaragua. We didn't have just cartas or some notas with person to person.
Wow.
And I had a friend who worked
Wow.
in that school. It was the first school, Spanish school in town. The owner, it was from USA, and he had three schools, one in
Okay.
León, one San Juan del Sur, and one in Granada. So this man was the director,
Okay.
and then he invited me, and I said no. And also, I didn't have any
Wow.
experience teaching. I studied being a nurse in a
Right.
university, and then he insisted me,
Mm.
and a friend worked with him, and then she told me, Mariel, Salvador, because his name was Salvador, said again that if you want to work as a teacher, because he's looking for some teacher, and I said no. Then the third time I said yes, but I didn't say anything to my husband because it was in secret. I didn't tell him, oh, I'm going to work, blah blah blah. And then he came, um and when my daughter turned 1 years old. He left when I was pregnant 1 month,
Okay.
and then he came. So he
Wow.
knew, he saw the our daughter use and pictures. I sent him pictures in a carta, in a letter, in an envelope. No internet, no phone, no nada.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Oh
so,
my
and
goodness.
I think that that's
Hmm.
the decision that I took the risk. It was the best decision that I have had, that I have done in my life. And when he
Wow.
came and I told him, I'm working. I remember that he came on Friday and I went to the airport and we spent the weekend. And then on Monday, I had a student and I told him, I need to work because now I'm working and I have to go. And then he told me, no, you cannot go. You didn't tell me. You cannot go because now I'm here, I'm on vacation. And I told him, okay, but just let me finish this week and then I can ask for a permission and then we can enjoy, because he was going to be here just for 3 months. It was fair. And then he told me, no,
Okay.
you won't go. You don't need to go. And I said, yes, I will go. And that time, we didn't have a taxi in the city. It was rare people who had
Wow.
moto car. So I use a bicycle. Then I ride my
Really?
bicycle, and then he
Okay.
followed me, and like 5 meters after my house, he parked in front, and then he told me, "You won't go. If you go, I will punish. I will hit you. I will take you from your hair from the job." And I said, "I will go." And then he did that like twice in the road until the school, because the school in that time it was in front of the beach. And then I went, I did it, and I started to teach. And then I saw him in the bike in front of my job, and I said, God, please, please don't let him to come here because he's going to hit me. And then that was the first time, and I didn't realize that he was
Hmm.
so violento. And but I
Yeah.
think,
Violent.
and thanks God, because I was brave to say, I will. I'm going to do it. Because now, look at me. I'm a
Hmm.
good teacher and I love my job. And I have had a lot of problems but my job is help me, help me to be, and
Yeah.
and then he accepted the my job with time, and then he came back to his work, and then after 1 year again he came, and then he never came back to us again. Then the problem started.
Wow.
Every time that he drunk, it was hard for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think also that I grew up having fear, um, because of my mom,
Yeah.
because she always hit me for nothing,
Mm.
and like almost every day.
Oh.
I think that when I was a child, so I was more shy, more introvertida, and dependent of my mom. My mom was my boss, and I was married, and she still
Mm.
punished me, and she decide how. So when my
Really?
husband came, he told me, Maria, let's go to eat in the restaurant. And then she was angry. Why are you going to go to eat there? You have to cook here. And why? You're a lazy. You are not. She always
Mm.
does. And I think that this situation didn't like to my husband. So, and the problem started.
Ah.
And the first time that he tried to
Mm.
kill me was because he fought with my mom, and I felt ¿cómo se dice? Between the rock and the sword. Between there is an expression. I felt
Between a
exactly
rock
between
and a
a rock
hard
and a
place,
wall,
like
something like that. Because
torn.
I love my
Okay.
man and I love my husband,
Yeah.
but they were not agree, because I always let my mom to be in my relationship, and because I was afraid, because she always was
Ah.
the boss, because she always was
Right.
hard to me. And the
Mm.
first time I remember, he tried to kill me with a machete. And I remember I was in a party with my mom, with a friend, and I don't know what happened. And then suddenly he told me, let's go to the house. And Jessica, in that time, she was like 2 years old, maybe 3 years old, 2 or 3 years old.
Okay.
And she was with my father, so we lived in different house in that time. And then he came to my, like at 2 a.m. He came to my father, and then he told him, okay, I'm going to take my daughter, but I didn't know what was his idea. And then he gave
Right.
me the daughter to hold her, and then let's go to the room. And then he locked the room, and then with a machete, I'm going to kill you. That was the first time that I felt like, oh, I'm going to die, so afraid. And I said, I'm going to die, I'm going to die. And I couldn't yell, but his mom heard something, and then she started to knock the door. Alvaro, open the door, don't do anything, open the door. And he didn't, como se dice, got calm, and then he stopped and everything. And I
Mm-hmm.
loved him. I always thought, I don't want to leave him, because I don't want to have a stepfather for my daughters. But now I understand that it was not
Mm.
the truth. It was because I love him. I couldn't leave
Right.
him. So I lived with
Mm.
him like almost five years. But the
Wow.
3 years,
Yeah.
los últimos 3 years was hard.
Like that.
And then we moved to other house and to live independiente, and I thought maybe we will have a better relation. And
Mm.
I continue
Yeah.
working, and I always had that problem in my house. And when I put a foot in the school, my even I had
Mm-hmm.
problem the night before. So many problems. One night when we lived alone, he came to the house with a friend, drunk, and I was sleeping, and most of the time I sleep without clothes. And then he told me, we are hungry, and I said, no, I need to rest because I have to work tomorrow. And then when his friend left, he took me naked to the patio with a knife, and all the neighbors saw my body, saw me everything. It was horrible. And that time the government wasn't hard now with violence, with this problem. And if the neighbor called the police, never the police came, but I had to call personally, and so I didn't do. But the police came like 2 days after. I was happy with him in that time. And so next day I had to work. Imagine how could I feel, how I felt. I felt that I was walking in the air because all the neighbors watched, oh, that's a woman last night. So, and then I came to the school without crying and happy and everything. So, that was hard. But the best decision that I have made, done, work, work. And see, and my mother helped me to, in the bad way, but she helped me to leave him. And one day I said, because he always told me, if you leave me, I'm going to take our daughter, and I'm going to take all the things that we have. Because when we got married, we didn't have even a bed. So, and with him, I got a bed, a fridge, TV, something for music, a closet, and everything we have. And then he told me, if you leave me, I'm going to take my daughter, and you won't take anything because everything is mine. And then I cried because why will you take my daughter? Why? Why is my daughter? You cannot take her. I was brave, but at the same time innocent. And and one day I said, okay, you know what? Take everything. You put in the place that is good for you, but you won't take my daughters. And I took everything. And then he saw me that I took the decision. And then he told me, okay, I won't take anything. You can leave. He always blackmail to me, but at the end he never took anything. I left from my mother house, and then by then we had a problem in the family. My brother, the second after me, I had a brother. He died in an accident. 20 years. He's going to turn. The accident is going to turn 20 years in 2 days, in 3 days. And so uh, then we had that problem. My parents suffer. The family suffer because he died in the ocean. Uh, and I have problem with my husband. And after 1 year, still I was single, but he always followed me. He always followed me in the road because no taxis at that time. I had to walk to the school to or bike, and he always followed me. And my mother and my father, they were always worried about me. They always called me, Mariel, where are you? Mariel, what are you doing, Mariel? Because they said we cannot lose another son. And for 2 years I had that thing. For 2 years he always followed me. And when he was, and my father had problem con alcohol after my brother died. And so my mother took my father to a rehabilitation place. So we lived like just in the house. My mom, my daughter, my sibling, they were young, like 10 years, 12 years old. And my daughter. Entonces, when my ex-husband uh, drunk, he always come to the window, open the door, because he knew that no man there were no one who could defend us. Um,
Just you.
so for 2 years until I met someone, and uh, I felt when I leave him, I felt bad because I always thought that he was going to be the man who I my my man for my whole life. And then
Right.
okay, to look for someone else who accept me with a daughter, it was hard at that time. Now it's normal. Now it's normal if you meet someone who has kids,
Yeah.
but in that time it was hard. So if I met uh someone, it was, oh, it's easy to her to go take her to the bed because I don't have problem because she's no virgin, so she has a daughter. It's easy to take her to the bed to have sex with her. So but that was not me. I wanted a couple. I wanted someone who wanted to be with me and accept me with my daughter. And then I met someone, and the first thing that I told him 2 years after, I have a daughter. And then he told me, okay, I don't care. It's okay. And then I felt like, okay, good. That's the thing that I want. And I didn't know what was going to happen in el futuro. And uh, and at the beginning, it was good. And and then I thought, now it's time to have another kid. It was my decision. My two daughters, the first one wasn't planned, but I wanted because if no, I could take birth control.
Yeah.
But the second one, okay, it was my decision. I didn't ask him. I want to have a baby, so I did it. Uh, and I lived with that man for 11 years. 11 years. But in comparing to the first one, I thought, oh, this is good. Because in that relationship, I was the boss.
Mm.
I made money, I have a good job,
Ah.
and I made money than him, and I paid for everything. And my daughters they were not okay when Ismael was born. So he put me in outside out on the side because his life it was only the baby. His world it was only the baby, not me. So the most
Ah.
important person to him it was Ismael. That is, it was at the beginning it was good because I know he loved my daughter. And then he started to have an attitude like, okay, Jessica cannot have a relation. She's not the problem came because I love Jessica, but and then is Mariel had more attention and Jessica no. And Jessica started to be more
Mm.
angry and and all the things. So is Mariel Jessica grew up with they were not a good friend because of my Ismael. So for 11 years, I had a problem,
Right.
and he was so jealous, so jealous. At the beginning, he always, but I didn't pay attention. He told me, "Why do you teach use
Hmm.
men? Why don't you teach women? Use men?" And I said, "They are my student. What? What is the problem? They are only a student." But I didn't pay attention. And then other day I met a student, and then, "Hola,
Hmm.
Mariel." He hugged me, and then he told me, "Don't touch me. Go to wash your face. Go to wash your hand. Don't touch me. You touch that man." And then okay, but I was happy because I
Oh
was
no.
the boss because he didn't hit me. He didn't do that. But after like 7 years, 8 years, I opened my eyes because I always paid
Hmm.
for everything. Everything.
Hmm.
And one day I said, and my mother always, and my sister, my brother-in-law always told me, Mariel, why do you live with that lazy man? Why do you live with that man that you are spending your life with him? You pay for everything. You should live better alone with your daughters. And
Hmm.
and then and time happened. pasar. And after, he never loved me, I think. Maybe at the beginning, but he never respect me. He never pay attention about me. He always was. I was like a person who paid for everything. His world was only the baby,
Took care of
not me.
everything.
And I always told him, she's going to
Mm.
grow up. She's going to get married. She's going to leave us. And you know what? I'm going to be here with you, but it will be late for us. And then he never understood.
Right.
And Mariel was 10 years old and Jessica almost like 19 years old, almost 20, when I met Tim.
Okay.
And
Okay.
being a teacher, I met a lot of people different from different culture, different country, and that make me feel like good because my problem, always I left my problem in the house. I never brought the problem to the school.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
have a good friends now because of my job, and I have had opportunities meeting people, being in other place and in Nicaragua. And so,
Mm-hmm.
and then one day I remember that I always went to the beach with my student, and I always believed something, and it was something crazy when the sun uh,
Mm-hmm.
come down and you see only the line from the sun, and then you can ask for
Yeah.
a wish.
Mm-hmm.
And I always ask, I want
Okay.
to be happy. I want to meet my love. I want to
Mm.
this. And when I met him, I was a teacher. I was his teacher, and then he came to the school, and I was with Ismael in that time. But I saw Tim as a student. Just I thought, oh, he's guapo, he's handsome, but nothing, no ojos like a man. No, it's just my student. And then he didn't see me as a woman. He saw me as a teacher. And
Teacher.
I remember that I had a student who invited me to come to USA, and but I didn't have a visa to go to USA.
Okay.
And I was with Ismael. It for 11 years. I always ask him, "Would you like to marry me? Would you like to do this?" Because I'm Catholic, and I believe in God, and I believe in marriage, and I wanted, and I always go to the misa. I always, and I couldn't take the
Mm.
cuerpo de Cristo because I was not married. For me, because I believe in God, I couldn't, as a
Ah.
Catholic, I couldn't take the cuerpo de Cristo because I was not
Yeah.
married. And I
Like
always
the
ask
communion.
Ismael, would you like, I would like to marry you because I want to be in peace with God. I want to be good. And then he always told me, no. And so that answer always make me feel bad because I always said, are you still looking for someone? Because I'm not the person who you want to be
Mm.
with. So,
Right.
and then when this student invited us with Ismael, my mother always told me, why would you go with Ismael? You won't have a good vacation with him because he's jealous. You are going to pay for everything. Go to yourself, go alone with him. And then he will never let me to go. That would never happen because
Hmm.
he would never accept. So,
Jealous.
and then I told him, Ismael, that student invited me to go to USA, but we are going to go to ask for the visa, but we have to marry us because it's good, because we are a couple, we can show. And then he told me, no, no, I don't want. And then
Hmm.
we went to the interview, and the first question that people in the embassy asked us, are you married? And I said, no. So they say they denied the visa. They said you both not available to visit our country. And I was angry. I was angry at him because he
Oh.
didn't want to marry. And then My
Right.
student told me, okay, we're going to try again. And then I said, Ismael, we have to marry us. But you know what? If I get the visa, it's okay. But if I don't get the visa, I'm going to divorce immediately because you don't want to marry me because you love me. It's because of the visa. It was almost the end of our relationship. But in that time, I teach.
Right.
I taught team. And then I remember that I said, team, on Tuesday we won't have classes because I'm going to get married because I want to go to USA. Now he makes joke about that. And then he said, okay, no problema. And so on Wednesday I came back. We got married on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday, okay, I came back. Okay, I'm married, but not the church. Okay, not the church. Just with the judge, with a lawyer. That's it. Not the church because I no,
Okay.
I was not crazy to do it because I didn't love him and he didn't love me, and so it was only because of the visa, well, document, and
Okay.
and then
Right.
when we went to the interview, like 2 months after, they always still they told us you are not available to visit our country. That was the second time, and then I said, I was teaching Tim for 3 months, and then he needed to. But with Tim, even he didn't see me as a woman. He saw me always like as a teacher. He was so gentleman with me. He was so gentleman.
Hmm.
He always opened the door in the car, and then he always, Mariel, no classes today. We have to go to eat breakfast together. And so, and I started with that confidence. I started to speak to tell him about my relationship with Ismael, and he understood that it was the end of our relationship. I didn't love him, and
Right.
he told me about him. I told him about my life with my daughters and everything. And but he was always gentleman, and I never received that attention from any other man. At the end of my relationship
Hmm.
with Ismael, I tried to lose weight, and I lost weight. And then I remember one day Ismael told me, "Oh, you look ugly. Why are you losing weight? You look so ugly." And I told him, "I don't care. I'm doing for me, not for you." And I used to go to a disco with my sister sometimes, and I could see that always friends to my sister, Tanya, would you like a beer? Not because I wanted someone to invite me a beer, it's because I wanted to feel atractiva or a good. No one invited me
Hmm.
to a beer. No one. I had
Hmm.
to pay my own, but
Hmm.
it was good because see, but I wanted to feel like as because my sister, she's married also, but still is people offer her, Tanya, what would you like to drink? What? And then she always said, I would like a beer, but I'm with my sister, and always in that, and I always cry because no one saw me. No
Hmm.
one saw me as nada.
Hmm.
And then my sister always said, Mariel, it's because
Wow.
you look like you are brave, yeah, like you are angry, like you have power. No man likes a woman with power.
Hmm.
And you always look like you have power. You don't need anyone to support you, to help you. You are uh enough for yourself. And then I say, but I don't
Right.
want to feel like that. I want someone to see me, to not because love or because no, it's because I want to feel woman. And then when I met him, he made me feel like that. He always like, Mariel, what
Hmm.
would you like? Or Mariel, let's go, and open the door. And it was and then we had a habit like every Friday fun day with him. And I didn't spend, it wasn't
No.
about money, it was about attention. And he always told me, you decide where,
Connecting.
what place would you like to go? And I decided, and then he said, and I
Mm.
always, and always brought my money and say, I'm going to pay him. No, 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 no. I will pay. And then that's made me feel good. Not because I needed the money, it's because of the attention. And
Yeah.
then I think that Tim helped me to be brave to leave my ex-husband. Because I said, oh,
Wow.
still, I feel like a woman. Because I felt if I leave Ismael, who will see me? Who will accept me with two daughters? Even I don't need, because economicamente I was good
Right.
because of my job. And
Yeah.
but Tim was like so normal. And then after 3 months, because you know that you have
Mm.
to be here just for 3 months, and then you have to renew a visa.
Yes.
He went to Costa
Yeah.
Rica. And then he told me, Mariel, I am going to be in Costa Rica 1 week. We won't have classes for 1 week. So in that week, I took the decision to say, Ismael, I don't want to be with you.
Mm.
You have to leave from my house. Because I always told him, please go away. And then he always told me, you made my suitcase. If you want me to leave, make it. And then I will leave. Just to make me feel like
Mm.
after, it was your fault.
Yeah.
You decide this. Entonces, in that time, I decided, Neto, okay, go away. I'm going to do it. Go. So when Tim came back to Nicaragua, I told him, Ismael is no more with me. And then a few days, he started to see me different. And
Mm.
I felt bad because I just finished with Ismael, and then like next month I started with Tim. But how can I don't know how to I feel bad because we live in a small town. So for people I betray
Right.
Ismael. But for us, we
Mm.
know that no. Tim never saw me, Tim never told me anything. He always thought, you are married, you are married. He respect
Right.
me all the time. And
Yeah.
and thanks God. Thank God, because he put in my life this amazing man. And because I took the decision to work, and I was brave to fight against my first husband. And then Tim, for the first time, I put God in our relationship. At the beginning, it was hard because
Mm.
Tim came with different ideas from USA. He didn't believe in God in that time, and he came with the idea like, uh, this life is horrible. I can kill myself. Nothing is important to me. When we started to date, he told me, Mariel, I have not been married. I don't want to be married, and I will never marry you. And I said, okay, no hay problema.
Mm.
But also, I always thought I never wanted to live with a gringo. I never wanted, because they have different culture, they have different ideas. And I have been working, at that time I had been working for uh 19 years. And I saw different relationship with
Wow.
Nicas, with gringo. And everyone think, when they see a
Mm.
Nica with a gringo, oh, it's because of the money. Oh, with that.
Right.
And I saw gringos like making la vida de Nica, the Nica life, la chica horrible. And they always accept just the wife, no kids, no family, no nada. So when I started with Tim, I told him, I have two daughters, I have a family, and my family will celebrate Christmas, birthday, New Year's Eve. So, and I will always be with them, and you have to be with me. And then he said, I don't have any problem with that. And when we started with the first two person who know about our relationship, it was my daughters, and he spoke with them, and because I told them, you are studying, we live in this small town, don't accept if people say something bad about your mother. You have to say, we know. You don't need to hear from other people, and you have to defend your mom in front of other people because now you know. And when I left Mariel, our daughter, she said, Mama, imagine how was our relationship, because our daughter always said, Mama, we are happy now without my father. And I wasn't with him at that time, but she told me one day, I'm happy. We are happy now without my father. And then when I met him, so they started, and Ismael started to say bad things to Ismael about him. And then she always, one day she told me, you don't love us. You are always with that gringo. And as my father say, you preferred him instead of us. And then I told her, especially her, because Jessica, she was 18, she thought different. And then I told her, okay, you know what? I'm happy now because I have a good man and we have a different life now. But if you want me to leave him, I'm going to do it. But you know what? You are not allowed to fall in love, to have a boyfriend, to have a husband, because you are going to live with me your whole life. If you don't let me be happy, you won't do it. And then she understood, and then she told me, I'm sorry, Mama. Okay, you can continue, you can be happy. And never again, she never told me anything again. And now, after 2 years with him, uh, her father accept our relationship. Now we are friends. We three are friends. Team speak with Ismael. We have a good relation.
Wow.
So our divorce didn't affect our daughter. We are happy. We are happy together. We have a good relationship. Now he he used to work for me, Ismael, taking care about the finquita, the chicken and the pigs. So we are good friends now. If I have some problem and I need his help, he always help me, and he helped Tim if Tim have some problem. He always. But and then being a teacher and everything. And we had problem in 2018 here with the government,
Yeah.
and I'm Sandinista, and I started to have problem with my business partner because she's not Sandinista. And Justine saw me crying because she made my life horrible. Because even I brave, I don't like to fight. I don't like to fight. I don't want to insult people. I don't want to do this. Just I want my life, and I started to decide like to make my circle small circle, my friends. I had just two friends, my family. And then Tim told me one day, Mariel, you have to quit. And I said, I cannot do it. I have been working in that school for like 13 years, 17, 15, I think. And independiente, because we quit after 5 years working with the gringo. We were 19 teachers and 16 we quit, and we started with Latin American Spanish school, 16 teachers, and then like a cooperativa. And then one decided to leave and the other one decided to leave. At the end, just Vanessa and me. Thus we owned the school for 10 years. For 10
Oh,
years,
wow.
but and then she become like horrible person because of political thing. And then Tim told me, you have to quit. And I said, no, how can I teach? How can I work? Because Tim never told me, stop working. I'm going to give you everything. That's no, never. He always let me be. let me work. And one day he went to USA, and he brought me this business card. He brought me
Ah.
t-shirt. He brought me a bag. He brought me
Aw.
tontas. He told me, "You are ready now to be independiente. You have to leave." Then I said, "What? What about if I
Wow.
fail?" And then he told me, for the first time I heard that from a man. And then he told me, "Don't worry, I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here to support you."
Oh.
So, and I decided to quit, and I decided to start with Escuela en la Playa. And now I'm independent, and I
Wow.
visit my clientes, and I visit mis estudiantes, and we are friends. But
Wow.
the and the other team told me that he will never marry me because he never was married. And after 2 years being with me, he said one day, "I'm just thinking about marrying you. You thinking if I'm going to marry you would be in 20 years, but I have the idea now. I have the idea 20 years." And I said, "So 20 years would be 18 because now we have 2 years together." And then he said, "Yes." And then he had the idea to do an engagement party, and he told me, "Because I'm going to marry you, I don't know when, maybe in 20 years, and but I'm going to. I have the idea." And then he told me, "Okay, we can do the party, but we are going to do it in my mother's house because I don't know if in 18 years they will be alive, or me or you." And in my mother's house, and they never had
Right.
have had this situation because no one came to us for their kids to get married.
Ah.
With this, that was going to be the first
Yeah.
experience for them. And then one day Tim told me, "Why in your mother house? Why won't you do it, and we'll do it, would you do it in the at the beach?" And I said, "At the beach?" And they said, "Yes." I never made Tim, I never punished him to do. He always offered me. I
Hmm.
was always like me, like Mariel, attend him,
Mm.
making a good food, treating good because he was good to me. He's good to me. I'm good with him. And
Right.
so we had a
Yeah.
good party with 70 people at the beach. And then he spoke with my parents and that
Wow.
thing. That was September 19th. And on December 19th, he told me,
Wow.
"Mariel, in 2021, I'm going to turn 50 years old. And I think by that time, I think I will be ready to get married, to marry you." And I said, "Are you sure? No 18 years? No." But still, in that time, for me, was like 2 years. In 2 years, is far, but it's less than 18. And so, and then he
Yeah.
told me, "We are going to marry us in January 22." So I had 2 years to plan our wedding. And I
Wow.
never thought that I could have that because I was um 47, 45, 45. I was going to have 45 years old, and I never thought that that is possible. Now I can say, and I can say women, that everything is possible. But for me, the most important person is God, because now we have the ability to pray together. We have the ability
Mm.
to have a good connection with God. And that has been the difference between my other two relationships. Now we have God in our relationship, and I we have seen all the change because Tim, he never believed in God before. He said that he always
Mm-hmm.
tell me that he have learned a lot. I have taught a lot to him, God, culture, love, and just love
Mm.
make him change. Because and then
Mm.
we got married in January 2022, and he took that decision because of love and because of God. And never is late. Never is late for a woman to uh, make a decision to leave a man to
Right.
start to work. Because I think women, we
Mm.
have to work, we have to be independent. I remember the first time that Tin invited me to come to Managua, and we went to Price Mart. And I had my ID also for Price Mart and that Price Mart in that time, and he has his own. And I took my card for put thing, and I said, I'm going to put the thing that I can pay, because this gringo won't make me feel bad.
Mm.
He will never tell me, pay your own things. He I didn't give him the opportunity to do that, because I was independent and said, this gringo won't tell me this thing. So I put all the thing that I could pay. And then we were in the line. He told me, Mariel, don't worry, I'm going to pay your thing. And I said, are you sure? Yes, I'm going to pay your thing. And that was the first time. And then for accepting
Mm.
that thing, like received from him, it happened like maybe five, six, seven
Right.
times. And now when we go to Price Mart, I don't feel good to put everything, but 98% say
Mm-hmm.
no, it's the same thing. But still, I feel something like, especially when it's personal things, just for me. I put it and I said, I'm going to put this, I'm going to pay it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he's, are you crazy, Mariel? And this is the thing. And I love him. I love him. He's the best.
Yeah.
Obvio, we have problems sometimes.
Wow.
We fight sometimes. But we have the ability to speak about the problem, to arrange the
Mm-hmm.
problem, and to continue.
Yeah.
Uh, but he's the best,
Wow.
because I'm married, and at the
That's
same time, I
amazing.
feel free. I'm not a slave.
Mm.
And
No. You're in
exactly.
partnership with
And I
somebody.
can tell women,
Yeah.
please, if you are in a bad relationship, please leave this man. And
Mm-hmm.
everything is possible. If you have God, if you pray,
Yeah.
I have had all of that experience.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had hard time, and I'm here at the end, and I continue.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Mm-hmm.
want to have more faith, because still it's minimal. But we pray every day to have more faith
Mm.
and to be together and all these things. And uh,
Wow.
never is late. And you women, you can meet your love if you don't still have it. And the most important thing is to have a
Mm.
job, to believe, and to love yourself, to love.
Right.
And
Wow.
and I feel good now. And now I constantly say I earn weight and a little more. And always my husband is if you want to lose weight, do it because of you, because I love you how you are. I love your
Right.
body. I love the way that you
Mm.
are. If you want to lose weight, it's okay. If you want, do it for you, because I love you. I love
Yeah.
everything about you. So he makes me feel good. See.
Seen and loved. Yeah. It's a thing you said in the beginning when you first started, that you wanted to feel seen. Because it sounded like when you were a child, taking care of your siblings and being a mother really at the age of 10, 11, 12, 13, that you weren't really seen. You had to see little kids, and take care of their needs, and then moving out and wanting to be free and going to Managua, and like you're going to be free, and then finding yourself back in San Juan
Yeah.
in a very different situation where you weren't, you was almost like you were uh like caged again, like when you were a child. It's like you were
Yeah.
put into like a box of what you needed to do. It's almost like you were put back into that again in your 20s when you were had a baby and you had this um, husband who was very controlling and who would hurt you, and again like very
Mi
similar to what
mamá.
you were as a child, being, yeah, with your mom being hit and taking care, being given, told what you have to do, being very much not free. You have to make your decisions, you have to be, you're a very vibrant person. Like I would never know that you were a quiet person when you were younger, because you're a very vibrant person. And I think your story is beautiful because it's hard, but it tells you about like the resilience and the strength that comes from trusting yourself and saying, no, I'm going to get this job, and I don't even know what I'm
Yeah.
doing, necessarily, but I'm going to learn, and learning the skills to do the thing that has ultimately led you to the love of your life, to Tim, and has given you a relationship that you probably never knew possible, to feel seen and to feel loved and to feel like you're enough just the way you are, is a beautiful story
My
for
mother
all of us.
was very hard to me. And when I turned, this is still, when I turned 40, buenos dias, when I turned 40 years old, something in my life changed. And in my 40,
Mm,
I got independent from my mother. In my 40, because before that, she always was,
mm.
why are you doing this?
Wow.
Why will you leave? Why are you going to go to the restaurant? Why are you drinking? Why you are drunk? What? Todo. And when I left with my husband to
Mm-hmm.
have a baseball play and with my daughters, and then I came because I like to drink, and she never spoke with me for 2 days because I came to the house drunk or because I had some beers. So in my 40, one day I was brave and I told her, Mama, it's enough, no más. And I, because always when she told me something, I was like quiet because in the idea, I have to respect my mom. She's my mom. She is right. She
Yeah.
has the right to tell me everything. I have to be quiet because if I respond, it's no respect her. And then I said, I don't want to respect you, but I want to tell you the truth. You are my mom. I love you, but you have to respect
Mm-hmm.
me. I have right also, not only you. And then she went, why, Mariel? Why you are telling me that? You always say that you respect me, but why are you answer? Why are you fight? I'm not fighting. I'm just telling you, no more. Please, no more in my 40s. In my
Yeah.
40s.
Yeah.
Now my mama, now I'm the boss. Is if they in my family they have problem, they always Mariel. We are having problem with Papa Mariel. We are having problem with everything, and
Mm,
so now
mm.
I am the boss in my family, and I am the person who try to solve their problem. No economical, no economical. It's like something happened. Is my
Yeah.
father is fighting with my mom. Is my brother is fighting with some. So it's always, and always they are always afraid. Oh, Mariel is coming. Oh, you have to, and they hide some things
Mm,
about my daughters about something because no, she's brave. She can do things. She can. Uh, when they saw me one day that can I can take the decision to put someone in the jail. Now I'm brave. Uh, After my experience, if I
mm.
see a couple fighting, I always try to be in the middle. Not even I know that they are going to be together next morning because I know that because I had that before.
Right.
But I had people
Yeah.
to
Because you
save me.
lived it.
No, and so he didn't kill me because I always
Mm-hmm.
had people to be in the middle, but they were angry because next day I was with
Yeah.
him. But now I understand. So
Right.
I'm not angry if they are going to be together
You
in the
understand.
morning. But the thing is, I have to prevent he to kill her. So I'm always
You
see, and then
understand
I
that it
know,
takes time. Like it took you. Yeah. And it can take a long time to realize, to even find the strength to leave an abusive situation. It can take, like, a lot of times it takes years, like you said. It took a long time to get your strength and to see that you were worth more than that, and to find the courage to do the thing to protect your children and to protect yourself, and I think it's you are such a light, Marielle. Like, like, you've been through so much, and sometimes we can become consumed with our past, and it can hold us back from becoming who we really are. And it's like it's never too late. Like you said, at my 40s, I just something changed, and I decided, like, no, I was going to make this. I was going to be strong. I was going to find the strength. And you did, and you took back that power that was taken from
Yeah.
you when you were just little. And and you stand tall, and you stand strong, and yet it's like, I love how you talked about Tim and how gentle he is, and how he sees you, and how he's just like, he doesn't see your strength to intimidate him. He sees it in a different way, where he just still finds this beautiful way of how to nurture and to love and gently be a partner and a supportive partner in your life. And it's really inspiring, and it's really beautiful that what you've gone through and where you are. I'm
Thank
so
you.
happy for you to be in such a loving relationship where you feel a partnership, and you feel loved, and you feel seen. That For those people who are listening, who are wondering, is it
It is
possible?
possible.
It is possible. If you're in a place where you feel like you don't feel loved, you don't feel seen, it is possible, even when it feels like it's impossible, or it feels like the hardest decision to make. Like, yeah, if you're living in a space of abuse, whatever that looks like, know that there's hope, and there's a lot of possibilities to not be in that very confining, non-freeing space where you can't really be yourself. I think you've told us that in your own story, and you've done the work to get where you are
See,
today,
and
and it's
because
it's
of all
beautiful,
of that, I
Marielle.
think sometimes I'm hard with my daughters because they always tell me that I'm
Hmm.
hard, but not the way that my mother did. For me, it's like you have to study. If you Because my daughter brings their friends
Hmm.
here to the house, but I always try to take care about her, and I want to be their friends. But sometimes I am the mom, and I have rules, and they have to. I'm
Hmm.
not the because my mother did that with me. I don't want to do it to them, but still, I put rules. I have
Hmm.
law. I have rules that they
Yeah.
have to follow, and but I'm not like my mama. For example, um,
Yeah.
for me, the most important thing is studies, is studios, college, and this is good. And
Yeah.
I'm
Hmm.
not the kind of
Hmm.
woman who can pay. I don't pay them. I don't pay them because they are good student. No, you do it because you deserve it.
Hmm.
I'm proud. I'm proud of you. I'm proud.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you have to do it
Yeah.
for you, for yourself. It's your life. It's not my life.
Yeah.
And I don't need to pay them because they are a good
Yeah.
student. So and
Yeah.
I have seen other parents that they buy the best notebook, the best phone, the best, and I said, no, you have to work for that. You have to.
Hmm.
I give you
Yeah.
the opportunity. I buy you a good thing, but just one time. I don't buy her like clothes every month. Or
Yeah.
no, there are other important things to pay
Yeah.
the school.
But yeah. And I think in doing that, you teach your kids, because, like, you fought
Mm-hmm.
hard for what you have. Like you said, you got married without a bed, right?
Yeah,
And so you fought hard for what you got. And so that created this drive to want to work, to want to build your business. And I think in giving our kids the ability to do those, to work hard for the things that they want, it gives them all the things they need to realize that they have the possibility to earn it and to work hard for the things that they want in life. And it's not an expectation, but they understand that they did it, and there's a sense of
yeah,
accomplishment, and you're proud of yourself when you can you did the hard
and
thing,
I'm
you
proud.
you
I'm
worked
proud about
hard
my
in that
daughters.
situation. You
Jessica, she's 20. She's going to
Yeah.
turn in 2 days 26 years old, and she's independent. She doesn't work for any other person. She has her own beauty salon. She has now she sells micheladas as her own business, and she makes money. She doesn't need a man to support her, to
Wow.
help her. She's independent, and I want this for Mariel also,
Right.
to be independent. I don't have a boss.
Wow. Sounds like you're raising. No, you're your own boss. It sounds like you've raised very independent, courageous women,
See,
and that is
yeah.
applaud
And
to you.
in Nicaragua,
that's
everyone think, oh,
that.
Mariel. I met the other day a person. Mariel, do you still are you still working? And I say, see, yes. Why? Now you live with a gringo, and you. So what? So what? So I, I'm s- I'm Mariel. I need to work. I need to be independiente, and
Mm.
I'm not with him because
Yeah.
of his money.
Yeah.
I'm with him because I love him,
Yeah.
and the then other day he was talking with other gringos, and then I heard him to say, I love my wife, and you know what, she can kick my ass anytime if she wants. She can leave me if she wants, because she doesn't depend of me. He said, she doesn't depend on me, she's
Right. Right.
independiente. And that's good, that's made me feel good.
Yeah. Wow.
And
Hmm.
also, see, we are
Yeah,
having now
totally.
economical problem, and we have a friend in a playa, and then on Saturday, last Saturday, he told us, "You are not poor. You both are millionaire because you have things that other couple would like to have. You have God, you love each other, you respect
Mm.
each other, you are happy together, you can enjoy together, and there are other people they don't have the ability to have this. You know what, you have a family, you have a good kids, because
Yeah.
Tim, he
Mm-hmm.
always say that he has 2 daughters and one son who is my nephew, because he never had
Yeah.
kids before. He never wanted to have
Aw.
kids. Entonces only my daughter.
Wow. So you
Exactly.
just adopted
And
all of them.
when we got married,
Wow. That's
immediately my
amazing.
mother-in-law, my father-in-law, immediately they put picture in the wall and with him, and now she
Aw.
never forget my kid's birthday. She always send gift, and they
Wow.
adopted us as a family.
Aw.
Jessica is Mariel, Raymond, Mariel,
Yeah.
and for my gift
That's amazing.
para wedding, she gave me necklace
Yeah.
with the a tree, the life tree, and then she told me this
Mm-hmm.
is a symbol
Oh,
because
yeah, to your
now
life.
you belong to our tree, to our family tree, and
Aw.
that was
Wow. To your
amazing.
family.
See,
That's beautiful. Aw. That is amazing. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for sharing your story, all the hard and the beautiful parts of it. As we come to the end here, I just have one question. Is there something in your life that you can think of that comes to you that's bringing you a lot of joy these
okay,
days?
again,
So, is there something in your life right now that you feel is bringing you a lot of
yeah.
joy,
Um,
happiness?
God, number one, God, because we have got
Mm-hmm.
our problem that make us easy. It's not heavy. Our problem, most is economical, but it's
Mm.
uh, not heavy. It's like so I think now is the past, the peace. I'm happy because I have peace
Yeah.
in mi vida. I don't have problem with my kids. I don't
Mm.
have problem with my husband. I don't have problem with my family. I have paz, and I have love, and I have a
Mm.
God that make
Peace.
me feel good.
Mm. Wow.
Every time when I go to the church and I
Good.
take
Wow.
the cuerpo de Cristo, that's amazing for
Mm-hmm.
me. Now I can do it.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm in paz with God,
Mm.
and that
Wow.
thing that make me feel
Mm.
happy in this life where I live, the place where I live,
Wow.
and I have love and respect
Yeah.
from
Wow.
my people.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
And from my student.
Yes. Oh
And
my
I would
goodness.
like to
Wow.
have more students because
Yes, of
now I
course.
don't work enough. But my student, my job make me
Yeah.
feel happy.
Yeah.
See.
Yeah. Wow. That's beautiful. Well, thank you so, so, so much for being here and for being part of this community called Naked, and for more people to hear more stories. It's people like you who are open and, courageous enough to join me and share the parts of life that maybe we don't
Yeah.
talk about too often, but yet they bring so much hope to people who are in the midst of their own story. So I really, from the bottom of
See,
my heart,
I'm
am grateful
happy
that you're here.
because with
Thank
my
you so much.
husband, I have a husband. I have a friend. He's my best friend, and he's my lover.
Hmm.
He's my boyfriend, and he's everything for me now.
Hmm.
He knows all my
Wow.
secrets. No one knows. Use him.
Hmm. Wow. That's
Yeah,
amazing. You found your life
exactly.
partner. Yeah. Wow. That's incredible. Well, sending you so much love and a big hug from
Thank
all the
you.
way over here to Nicaragua. Thank you for being here. Thank
Thank
you
you.
for
You
sharing
you
your
are
story.
welcome. Thank you for inviting me.
Of course. Of course. I hope you have a really beautiful rest of your day. You'll just be starting your day. So I hope your day is beautiful and lovely as just as you are. Just
See,
as you
thank
are.
you. See,
You're
bye.
welcome. Take
Kisses
care.
for say hello, everyone, and
Adi-
hug.
I
Okay.
will. Oh, I will.
Bye, bye,
I will.
bye.
Adios. Ciao. Thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Please take a moment to subscribe and leave a review wherever you get your podcast goodness. This way, you'll never miss out on any future episodes, plus, it really helps us. And if you want to share your favorite episode with a friend, that would be absolutely incredible. This goes a long way. If you'd like to join Naked by sharing part of your story, just leave us a message on Instagram or email us at nakedwithjanelle@gmail.com. Also, a big thanks to my son, Mikel, who is the best cheerleader and maybe one of the biggest believers in Naked, and also produces and edits all our podcasts. I am beyond grateful for him and very aware that I couldn't do this on my own. Thank you so much for tuning in and for being here.